Section 1.4 is called Using the Pythagorean Theorem, and I want to start off by just going over the parts of a right triangle. So the part that we call C is the hypotenuse, and that's the longest side of the right triangle, and it's always the side that's right across from the right angle. So C is the hypotenuse, longest and opposite the right angle. And then the two sides, the two shorter sides that make the right angle, those are going to be labeled A and B, and it doesn't matter which one is A and which one is B. And these two sides, A and B, are called the legs. Now, the actual theorem itself is A squared plus B squared equals C squared. And I ended up I had to retape this, so that's why I covered this little section up. But the kind of problems that you'll see may or may not give you a picture. But if they give you a picture, I want you to copy it anyway. So you should always, with these problems, draw the right triangle. Even if the book gives you the triangle, copy it. And you should label the two sides that you have. So in this case, side A is 4 centimeters. Side B is 6 centimeters. Label where C is, and then draw the little box for the right angle. Then the next thing I want you to show me in terms of your work is the formula. So you're going to write the formula each time. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. And this says basically that the sum of the squares of the legs equals the square of the hypotenuse. So write the formula. Step 2 is to plug the numbers into the formula. So A is 4 squared plus B is 6 squared equals C, I don't know, so that stays C squared. And then 4 squared plus 6 squared, if you were to do that on your calculator, you should find that that equals 52. And squared means times itself, so this is 4 times 4 plus 6 times 6. Oops, sorry, this is 52, not 5 squared. And this is still C squared. At this point, we want to get C by itself, so I have to get rid of the squared. Well, the way to get rid of a squared is to use a square root. So I'm going to take the square root of both sides, because you can't do something to one side of an equation without doing the exact same thing to the other side. And the right side becomes just C, because square roots cancel squares. And the left side, you can do that with your calculator. So the square root of 52 is, and I'm going to round to the nearest tenth, so tenth is one place after the decimal. That means you have to look to the hundredths place, and if it's below 5, then this stays a 2. But if the number in the hundredths place is 5 or more, this would go up to a 3. But it's going to stay 7.2. And check to see if you have any units, and we do, centimeters, so make sure you put units in your answers. So 7.2 centimeters. These are all the steps I want you to show. The triangle, the formula, the numbers plugged into the formula, the square root step, and then the answer with units if there are units. All right, let me make sure I'm still on the screen this time. Yes, I am. Okay, example 2 is a word problem, and I've already written it out just to save time, but it says, a ladder is leaning against a building. The base of the ladder is 12 feet from the building, and the ladder touches the building at a height of 5 feet. How long is the ladder? So we know that there's going to be a right triangle in here because that's what the section's about. So I'm going to draw a very skinny building. And there's my ground. And here's a long skinny door. And I'll make one long skinny window. Here, have a chimney too. All right, we've got a ladder that's leaning against the building. Here's my ladder. And then read carefully what they give you in terms of other measurements. It says the base of the ladder is 12 feet from the building. This is the base of the ladder. Here's the building. So they're talking about this distance here. So this is 12 feet. And it touches the building at a height. Height is up and down. So it's saying it touches the building at a height of 5 feet. So this length is 5 feet. How long is the ladder? Well, the ladder is the hypotenuse. It's right across from the right angle. So that's going to be the C. And so you have to draw a picture. Write out the formula. And then I'm going to plug numbers in. So we'll just call this A and this B. It doesn't matter though, I could say that's A and that's B just as easily because it's not going to change anything. 12 squared plus 5 squared equals C squared. C has to be the hypotenuse. And then this is going to be 144 plus 25. That's 169 equals C squared. Now I need to get C alone, so I have to square root both sides. Not that that's really a verb, but I'm going to make it a verb. This is going to give me C. This is how I get C alone, this step. So I get just C on the right side. The square root of 169 is 13. And since we're in feet, I have to have feet for my unit. So this means that the ladder is 13 feet long. All right, so those are the steps that I want you to show me when you do these problems. If I can figure out how to turn this off, that would be nice.